Hey Cascade artists! Before we start today, I have to compliment you on what an amazing job you did drawing the eyes, nose, and mouth. Now for this week's lesson, I am going to show you how to put those main facial features together to draw the human head and face with accurate proportions from 3 different views. We're going to practice drawing a front view, a profile where the head is turned to the side, and a 3/4 view, which is halfway in between front and profile views. I do want all of you to please practice all 3. You don't have to add tons of detail on the facial features here. Our main focus for this week is just to get the proportions of the head and face accurate. Alright, the first step when drawing a front view is just to sketch in a light circle. You can help your circle come out round by, instead of drawing from the wrist while keeping your arm rigid, keep your wrist stable and draw from the shoulder, because your shoulder joint has a bit more fluid range of motion. So this, you could think of it as the skull. We got a lot of room for a brain in there. Now underneath, we're going to add in part of an oval, like an egg shape. That will be the jaw. Now we will add a vertical line that goes from the top to the bottom. That is called the line of symmetry. Next, you want to find the halfway point between the top of the skull and the bottom of the jaw. You don't have to measure with a ruler, just find the approximate halfway point. This is called the eye line. Instead of drawing your line straight across, give it a little bit of a curve. You can make your curve angling down a tiny bit, like I did, to show that you're looking down at that face from above. You could make your curve go the other way, curving up just a little bit, if you want to make it look like you are looking up at the face from below. So the eye line, a common mistake is that beginning artists will place the eyes too high on the head. But truly, the eye line is right in the middle between the top and the bottom. Next, we want to divide this lower portion in half again, and that will be where we'll place the nose. So I'm going to go ahead and place a curved line there as well. We'll also divide the top section in half to find 1/4 of the way up. That will be the approximate hairline level. Now, right above the eye line, I'm going to add one more line that's not quite halfway in between the eye line and the hairline, but just a little bit lower, and that will be our brow line, where the eyebrows will go. Okay, now we've got our major lines in, so on the eye line, the one that's right in the center, we're going to sketch in the eyes, following the basic steps that I showed you guys 2 weeks ago: upper eyelids, the spheres of the iris, the lower lid, leaving approximately the space of one eye in between the 2 eyes. Now the tip of the nose will be on this line. That's halfway between the eye line and the bottom of the chin. And we practiced drawing the nose last week with 1 big sphere and 2 little spheres. Now the eyebrows will go on the brow line, so you can sketch those in whatever shape you'd like. And if you want to draw the bridge of the nose, just connect right up to the eyebrows. Now, for placing the mouth, find the halfway point between the tip of the nose and the chin. That is where the bottom lip will rest. So the center of the lip will be just above that. Now, normally, the pupil of the eye, if you take a line straight down from there, that's where you can place the outer corner of the lip. And now I'll add in top lip, philtrum, bottom lip, and I'm going to define the chin just a little bit more. Alright, now I do want to add ears. The ears are bigger than you might think. Another common error is that beginning artists often draw teeny-weeny ears, but the ears generally go from the brow line all the way down to the nose line. Bigger than you think. And from a front view, you can usually see the top and the bottom of the ears. Now the hairline, you can do any sort of a hairstyle you would like. I'm going to do short hair just so you guys can see the shape of the head on my person. And notice how instead of drawing a line straight across, I'm drawing sort of dashed lines in the direction that the hair grows. That's my favorite way to draw hair. And you can put tons of detail in this if you would like to, but you don't have to. I want the main focus this week to be on getting those accurate proportions. All right, now let's add in a neck. The neck usually starts just below the ear on both sides, and curve it in just a little bit as it goes down. Then, off to the side, just below the chin, add more lines that curve out. That's for the trapezius muscle, which if you have been spending a lot of time looking at your Chromebook, you might have pretty stiff trapezius right about now. And then the shoulders come out from there. All right, now that you've got the basic features sketched in, you can define the edges with a little bit more of a crisp line. And as we've already discussed, every face is unique. So if your proportions are not exactly like mine, it's because no two faces are the same. And if you want to add in some details on the ears, leave a little more space on the ear lobe and add your ear cartilage up towards the top. If you want to erase the guidelines that you drew when we first started sketching out these facial proportions, you can, but for today's purposes, it is fine if you'd like to leave them on there. Okay. Now, you've got the basics down once you've drawn a face looking forward. The next thing I want to show you is how to make that same kind of a face in profile, looking to the side. I'm going to draw mine looking to the left, but the same thing works if you're making yours facing the right. Okay, so we start the same way, drawing a circle. Again, I'm keeping my wrist rigid and drawing from the shoulder. You'll notice that I didn't try to get my circle perfect the first time. Let your line be light and sketchy to help you get the illusion of roundness. Okay, so the line of symmetry that goes right down the center, this time instead of being in the middle, it's going to be on the side because we are looking at the face from the side. And we're going to think of the ear space. The ear is going to end at the bottom of this circle, which means that the jaw is going about halfway up the circle. Now, the eye line, again, is going to go in the center point, right in between the top of the skull and the bottom of the jaw. So it's going to be a little bit above the ear point. That's the bottom of the circle. Now again, we're going to divide this lower half in two to find where the nose will be. And we're going to divide the upper half in two to find the hairline. And right above the eye line, we'll sketch in a brow line as well. All right, now this edge of the face is flat because we haven't added the nose. The first sphere of the nose is actually going to stick out past that line. The second sphere will intersect with the line of symmetry. And then the bridge of the nose comes right up towards the eye line. Now, depending on the kind of face you're drawing, it could even go in a little bit at the eye line and then come out again at the line of the brow. You get to choose the exact proportions of your face. All right, same as before. Halfway between the line of the nose and the bottom of the chin is where the lips will go. So you can make your upper lip stick out just a little bit, bottom lip, a little bit of a chin. Don't forget the philtrum. And I feel like this jaw I've sketched is a little bit small, so I'm just going to make it a tiny bit bigger than I originally sketched it. You can always change your mind as you go. Now, the eye line is right here. When you're drawing an eye in profile, instead of seeing the whole curve of the top eyelid with the circle of the iris and the bottom lid, in profile, you'll see half of the top eyelid. You'll see the curve of the iris on the side, and then you'll see the bottom lid. Instead of having the pupil right in the center, your pupil will be off to the side. And your top eyelid, instead of being right above, will also be off to the side. The eyelashes, instead of going left and right, might go out towards the direction the eye is looking. Okay, so now I'm going to sketch that eye in right about here, coming up from the edge of the nose, and upper lid, iris, lower lid. This gets in the pupil and leave a bit of a highlight. Okay, now the brow. My brow line is already sketched in, so you can draw the brow in any shape you want. And the ear. Again, we're going from the top of the brow to the bottom of the nose. And all of this is skull back here. Don't forget your neck, it's going to be a curve. And again, you can see that going straight down from the pupil to the corner of the mouth. The same thing applies on this face. And I think I forgot to say before, if you go straight down from the inner corner of the eye, you'll normally line up with the outer edge of the nostril. And the same is true here. Inner corner of the eye, outer edge of the nostril. All right, now some hair. This time I will draw long hair just for fun, but the hairline is going to be in about the same place. And again, I love to draw in the direction the hair grows. It's not the only way to do it, but that's definitely my favorite way. And you can also draw the hair that might be coming down, pencil difficulties, on the other side of the neck. All right. Now, I'm going to show you how to draw a face in a 3/4 view, but I've run out of room on this paper, so I'm going to grab a fresh piece. All right, 3/4 view starts out in the same way by sketching a circle. And this time, instead of making the line of symmetry right in the middle or right on the edge, we're going to do right kind of in between those two. And then sketch in the jaw slightly off center, but not all the way to the side like it was on the profile view. Now, same as before, finding the halfway point between the top of the skull and the chin. That'll be our eye line. Finding the halfway point between the eye line and the chin for the nose placement. And that halfway point between the top of the skull and the eye line for the hairline. And then right above the eye line, the brow line. And you guys are getting used to it by now. We get to start sketching in the features. In a 3/4 view, the eyes are going to be more like in the front view. But the nose is going to be a little bit off to the side. Not sticking off the edge like it was in profile, not right in the middle, but just to the left of the line of symmetry. And you'll see one nostril completely, the other side you'll see just a tiny bit. And in a 3/4 view, you'll normally get a pretty distinct line of where the nose connects to the brow on the side that the head is turned towards. The eye that's partially behind that bridge of the nose will look closer to the nose than the eye that is on the side of the face that we are seeing more of. All right, get a little bit of cheekbone there. Okay, now halfway between the tip of the nose and the chin, we'll sketch in the line for the mouth. And I want to place the philtrum following the curve of the line of symmetry. We're not going to see much of this far side of the upper lip, but we'll see a little bit more of the side closer to us. And the same thing with the lower lip. The side that's further away is a little bit shortened. The side closer to the viewer we'll see more of. And then don't forget your chin. You can make the jaw as square, as pointy, or as round as you want for the person you're drawing. And I still need another brow over here, so I'm just going to follow the brow line. Okay, my pupil. Again, you can see the pupil goes down to the corner of the mouth. The inner corner of the eye lines up with the corner of the nose. And we're going to place the ear where the top lines up with the top of the brow, and the bottom lines up with the bottom of the line of the nose. Bigger than you might think, but trust it. Okay. And once you have those basic proportions sketched in, you can start to define the details. This time I'll draw a person with curly hair. Curly hair is super fun to draw. Always start from the root and draw in the direction the hair goes, but let your pencil or your pen be a little bit more free and wild. And I'm going to draw the person's other shoulder over here to the side. Again, the neck, trapezius, and the shoulder. And if you want to sketch in any kind of an outfit on the person that you're drawing, that can be really fun to do as well. Alright, so that is my basic techniques for drawing faces in a front view, a profile, and a 3/4 view. So please do practice all three this week. You could put them all on the same paper or on different papers if you need more room. And then please add these to the Drawing the Face project on Artsonia. I'm really excited to see what you're going to do as you put the skills that we've been practicing together. And I'm so excited to see your drawings. Good luck. Happy creating.